I'm Jan Shadick, I'm Regional Director for United Learning, and I led Leadership Beyond One School.
My name is Nicola Noble. I'm one of the head teachers at Surrey Square Primary School in Southwark, and I led the Leading with Confidence programme.
There's a recognition that although there are a lot of women in education, not as many rise to the top levels, particularly senior leadership, headship and executive headship. So the rationale behind the programme was to support women to get into those roles.
There's a real gap in the market at the moment for quality professional development, and particularly for senior leaders within schools, which is bespoke, made for them, deriving from their own professional development needs, rather than a generic development programme.
We wanted to challenge and support women to take that next step, recognising that everybody can be a leader. We have in our mind a concept of what a leader looks like, but we're all different and we're all capable of leading as long as we're prepared to learn. So to that end, we challenged them to tell us what they were good at, what they were not so good at, and then we built the programme around their weaknesses. So some of the workshops focused on things like networking, which women are notoriously not as confident at, how you lead other leaders. We did 360s with the participants, so they got real quality feedback on their own leadership skills, and then we're able to tailor the programme to try and develop those weaknesses so they could become strengths.
The women-only aspect is really interesting. I think it really creates a sense of trust, a sense of understanding, and allows you to really explore the issues that these women in leadership are facing in a really, really deep level. And what we see are discussions not only around expected topics like motherhood or juggling a million different things as lots of them are doing, but also a real commitment to ensuring that opportunities that they put in place for women in their organisations are put in place for men in their organisations as well. So we see a development of women really understanding themselves as leaders, but also how they really want to lead their organisations.
I think women lack a lot of confidence. Despite the bravado, sometimes there is deep-rooted lack of confidence, that the good old imposter syndrome that looms large. And I think having a group of women that are in a similar context creates an environment where you feel safe, it's okay to be vulnerable, and you can talk through all of those things that you're concerned about when you take that next step, and you actually recognise you're not the only one that's concerned about that, and you have people there to support you and challenge you to be braver and go for those roles. I was reflecting on the growth of the participants as I came to the event this afternoon. They've all grown, and when I think back to that first session where we met together, where they were unsure about those next steps, some of them were already in executive roles and system leader roles but weren't sure exactly how to lead. Some of them weren't really sure whether exec head and system leadership was something they wanted. I now can see that they have blossomed in the roles that they're in. They've got clarity, they know where they're going, and those that were unsure about exec head are now very confident that they can take that next step.
What's incredible about the programme is that you see people come in at the beginning with a lack of self-confidence, believing that they can't do the role that they're in or can't do the role that's the next step ahead for them. And what we see every year is a transformation in their confidence, in their belief in themselves, in their understanding of what leadership really is, and an understanding of the kind of leader that they want to be. And when they leave the programme, they walk out 10 feet taller than when they first came in.
So it was really important to us that the programme met the needs of the participants. So we did a self-evaluation at the beginning, and we looked at where participants marked themselves down and felt that they were weakness, and we built the workshops around those. So things like networking, leading other leaders. There were opportunities for coaching as well. During the course of the programme we had regular evaluation, so after each workshop there was follow-up to get feedback. We met as facilitator to see how we could do it better, and of course at the end of the programme there'll be a full evaluation for the impact it's had.
What I love about this programme is that it starts from the needs of the women themselves. They start at the beginning and they go on a bit of a voyage of self-discovery with a 360 and other methods of feedback. And from that, we really then tailor the programme to what they need themselves. So we start with a blank piece of paper, some general principles that we want to really drive what we're offering, but it's the women's needs themselves which determine what actually happens on the programme.
I think any organisation considering running a programme like this needs to really consider the needs of the participants. What worked really well for us was once we'd recruited, we then did an analysis of their strengths and weaknesses and built the programme around that. I think I learned that women are far more powerful than they realise they are, and collectively they can achieve fantastic things. And I know the women I've worked with are already impacting on the lives of hundreds of young people and staff, and they will go on, and that will expand to thousands upon thousands.
Creation of a network. The women who are on the programme not only build that themselves, but they really see the power of it. And you see them, again, leaving the programme with support that they hadn't had before, network that they didn't have before, and that in itself is really powerful.